such a credit society. I mean, the number of times I slide that sucker without thinking twice.
That's right.
Brad Huffman is here to yell at us. No,
Oh, no yelling, not during the holidays.
Schooling.
Education, that's what we call it.
He's a professional certified financial planner, and you are going to give us a quiz,
right,
as you often do, in terms of our credit card savvy and knowledge. What are we getting ourselves into?
Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
I've used
one. Who do you know?
I've only got one. Yeah, I'm pretty good. And I've used it, you know, if you're online, you have to almost.
Sure.
But there's some basic things to know, and there's actually some rules that went in place a few years ago. I don't think a lot of people really are aware of them. So we're going to delve into them and hopefully learn a few things.
Okay.
So
let's do it.
First question, biggie. What is the maximum interest rate, or what's called APR, that a credit card can charge under federal guidelines? 24.99%, 27.99%, 29.99%, or no limit?
Oh, this is a hard one. I have no idea.
It's actually no limit. Some states have guidelines, but for all practical purposes, there really isn't, because they can simply establish their card services in a state that doesn't have a guideline. But most of them are competitive. If someone charges you 50%, someone else will probably charge you 30%. So for all practical purposes, 30 is where most of them end, but there's really no limit.
So the message is you better know what you're paying.
Pay attention to the back side of that application. That's where the details are. Really important.
Wow.
Now, you're out shopping, you drop the credit card, it's gone, someone tries to use it. You find out there may be a liability, but there's a guideline on how much of a liability you may be responsible for. What is that? Is it $25, $50, $75, or $100?
Oh, I don't know.
So the maximum you would owe in the event that it was stolen.
I'm going to say, oh, whatever.
It is B, $50. So for it's a great tool, and this is why it's important. If you're out shopping, use the credit card versus the debit card, because if the debit card is lost, they have full access to the bank account.
That's your
so the credit card is very helpful from that perspective, and obviously it's there to help protect you in the event someone wants to do harm.
Okay,
so
$50.
$50, not a bad thing. True or false? Your credit card monthly statement must show you how long it would take to pay off the balance, paying only the minimum.
I believe that is true.
It is true. That was almost too easy. But new rules were put in place a few years ago. They wanted people to see that, and that's really important. So if you're paying just that little tiny minimum, you better know how long it's going to take for it to go away.
But they didn't want people to see that.
They
Congress wanted people to see that.
Those were consumer protection rules.
Well,
those weren't the credit card companies being generous people. That's not going to happen.
So is this free market that we have a rule like that, yet the APR limit can be limitless?
It's a bit odd, but yes, competition helps control some parts of it. But that is really just to keep people focused on, don't pay the minimum. You got to do a little bit more.
Make you sick
now,
when you look
along
at
those lines, little math. Get your calculators out. You don't have them. But anyway, how long would it take to pay off a $1,000 credit card balance with a 25% interest rate if you paid just $40 a month?
Seriously?
This is going to be a wild guess here, but let's for fun. About a year, 3 years, 5 or 7?
5 years.
I've got 5.
Actually, 7 years. It would take forever to do it. So again, the secret here is don't pay the minimum, because if you do, it's going to take forever. And in this case, you've got a $1,000 balance. You're going to pay about $800 in interest. So almost twice the balance just to pay it back.
This debate is going on in our house. If you have savings, pay them off.
It doesn't make sense. Right now, you're getting nothing in the bank. Pay the card down. Absolutely. Another true or false? Credit card companies can charge you an inactivity fee if you don't use your credit card.
That is very true.
I think so.
Actually, it is false.
Oh, that is very false.
I was right with you, too.
New rules came in to say, look, if I'm not using this card, you can't ding me. Now, you may still pay an annual fee if it's part of the arrangement. But just for not using the card, they can't come back and say, oh, you haven't used it in 12 months, we're going to ding you.
That's one for the little people. That's good.
Again, the card companies didn't do that. That was completely separate. Last one. If you make a late payment, you're going to get a penalty fee. What is the maximum penalty fee you can get under most circumstances? Is it 20, 25, 30, or 35? And this is per instance. So,
I think
it's actually B, 25.
Well done.
Again, these rules were put in.
I think that's because we've had that a couple of times.
Those
and
rules
I didn't remember.
Were put in place to, again, protect us. Again, if you keep doing it, they keep dinging you 25. But you're not going to get hit with $50, $100. And again, that was done to help protect consumers. Again, hopefully you're making those payments. You're making more than the minimum. But again, if you're not, at least there are some things out there to keep it from getting hopefully insanely out of your hands.
Interesting.
Okay, well, your bottom line, we're in the holidays. What's the bottom line?
The bottom line is use the credit cards responsibly. Know the interest rates. Do everything in your power. Like you said, if you've got money in savings, come January, be ready to take that money out of savings and pay the credit card, because those balances can grow quickly. Now, hopefully you've got a low rate card. 25 is high. Maybe you've got a 15 or a 20% card. Sadly, almost decent. But again, be aggressive about paying it down. If you don't do it, you're just literally sending profits to the card companies.
Okay.
Don't let them take your money. Pay that balance
Brad, we got to go.
aggressively.
We're going to win the Powerball. We've got to
Oh, then, yeah, who cares then? You can buy your island and
Do we
forget
have
it.
the board? How do we do? Well, oh, looky there. We can all be happy at the end of this. I don't know. Are we happy at the end of this?
No, 2 out of many. We don't know a thing.
We are informed, though. Thank
You
you
got it.
so
Yep.
much.
Thank you, Brad Huffman. Coming up next, showing off